Hey, this is Carol. Mama. Some people call me Mama. Some people call me Mom. And some people call me Miss Carol. Hey, I'm hollering out to my brothers and sisters from Ocala, Florida. I told you I'd post some more videos about visions and what the future holds. And it's not even the simple fact that this comes from me, but I believe that, God is revealing some things to me that I need to share with the public. And you can take it with a grain of salt, or therefore, you can keep doing what you're doing. It made me no difference, okay? Because, see, it is what it is. But I want y'all to understand something, okay? Sometimes you have to have disaster in order to get law and order. Let's talk about law and order. What is law and order? Okay, everybody knows the government's involved. Okay? Everybody knows that in the Bible it talks about Satan. Okay, let's talk about Satan. Okay, what's up, Satan? What's up? What's up? Okay, see, I don't like you and you don't like me either, and I really don't care. Okay? But therefore, it says he has dominion over the earth. And therefore, when the Bible talks about Satan, okay, there are certain principalities that control our government, and the elite, let's talk about the elite, okay? They just feel like that they can walk around here and do whatever they want, and therefore, us little people, we really don't care, okay? But therefore, I want to talk to you about something, and it's a vision that I had probably 3 or 4 years later, maybe 2 or 3 years later. I'm not even going to get into all that, but the first video that I posted was, hey, my brothers and sisters on the East Coast, just pay attention, pray, and ask God to help you in finding a way out. When he says we are to flee from the cities, therefore he's not kidding. I don't really think, I think God has been pretty lenient. I think he's been pretty patient. And therefore, I think he has given us way too much. Okay? Because therefore, the people take advantage of a good thing. And now it's just all out of control, and it just don't make no sense. So, I want to explain something to y'all. Disaster? Okay. Tsunami. The tsunami hitting the East Coast. 2 or 3 years later, therefore it was revealed to me when I went to sleep, and there was several, or I should say couple, of visions that came into play, which therefore I think they all intertwined together. But I want to talk to y'all about food lines, okay? And when I say food lines, wow, unbelievable. Okay? And why I say that is because these food lines are being operated by people that are not even of U.S. soil. Okay? The people that don't even belong here for real. Okay? These people, and therefore which my vision, there's a friend of mine that he marches to his own drum, and he's cool, and he's like one of my best friends, and I understand where he's coming from. Okay, he's like my brother. I think of him like, he reminds me a lot of my brother for real. But therefore, sometimes when the rest of the world don't understand me, I go to him because he gets it. Okay? There's a lot of times that we talk about certain things because sometimes he levels me out, because I understand why God does, why he's doing what he's doing, because therefore, keep in mind, society has lost their mind for real, okay? Y'all some selfish, arrogant, self-indulgent people that ain't got no common sense whatsoever, okay? I don't care who you are. You know who you are. And if you're watching this video and this punches you in the gut, okay, it should punch you in the gut, because you need to get your mind right. For real. Okay? Well, 2 or 3 years later, I had this vision. And me and my brother, you know, I found myself in a food line. And when I say food line, these people that were running this food line, and Lord, I'm not prejudiced, and I don't mean to throw it out there like this, but they're Mexicans, okay? And when I say Mexicans, I have Mexican friends, okay? Ain't no point in even going down that prejudice line for real. Because just because you have good white people, you have bad white people too. Okay? You have good black people, you have good white or black people. You have good Mexicans, you have bad Mexicans, no matter how you look at it. Because see, it's not about the color of the skin. And it's not about their nationality. It's about what their belief is and where their soul's at, and that is the bottom line. Okay, but these people are Mexicans. That's what I was told. And it's like I was standing in a, doesn't really look like a homemade carport, but it's a wooden building that has wooden rails on the side of it. And you stand in line, and these people, I don't know, they controlling all of it. And I'm standing in line with multiple people behind me, okay? And all of a sudden, I get to the front table, I guess you could say, to get my food. And they put your food in mason jars, pint mason jars. I'm assuming it was rice because it looked like rice. I don't know what it was, but I'm standing there, and therefore he violently drops my jar on the table like he doing me a favor, whatever, like it's an inconvenience for him. And all of a sudden there's a rat that runs across the table, and he just picks it up with his bare hands and he bites the head off of it. Whatever that means, I do not know, and I do not care. But as I'm standing in the food line, I'm trying to figure out how in the world I see what looks like a warehouse. I don't know what it is in any building that I have seen that big. This is a structure that therefore has been in the making for a long time. And I can see it, and it's probably about a quarter mile away, and I'm trying to figure out how to get there because something is telling me that that is where my grandbabies are at. And I'm trying to get there, and I'm trying to figure out, just give me my food so I can go on, because see, therefore I have nothing to say to you. And at the right hand side of me, actually it's the left hand side of me, a man hollers at me. And he says, "You, come here." And I walked over there. I come out of the food line. I left my jar of food on the table. And I stood in front of him, and however or another, I had telepathy, so I already knew what he was going to say before he was going to say it. So there was no point in me bucking up, and there was no point in me saying anything, because I didn't need to defend myself, because I already knew what he was going to say. And he point blank, I noticed a silver blue gray lining that was outlined my whole body, like there was some kind of protection there. And I just stood there and looked at him, and he said, "Really? Where's your God now?" And I point blank looked at him, and I said, "You know what? Jesus is coming." That's right, people, Jesus is coming. It made me no difference, because see, therefore, it's not my problem. Because therefore, I believe that if you believe, it doesn't matter what you say. And when I looked at him and I told him, I said, Jesus is coming. Therefore, he used the F word and told me to get back. Well, he said, get the F back in line, is what he said. And I was like, okay, I didn't really say anything. And I turned around, And I got back in the food line to notice that, oh, that little measly little mason jar of rice or whatever it was that they gave me, somebody had done stole it. And therefore, prior to that, I remember being really hungry, okay? But, here is a highlight of this. God took that hunger from me like it never existed. And therefore, I saw the silver and blue lining where I was protected by the blood of Jesus. No matter what he said, it was almost as if I couldn't be touched. So I want you people to know, I really want you to know that when God says he's going to protect his people, hey, it's okay. It's okay, because therefore, just stand still. Look at thy enemy as though they can't do nothing to you, because as long as you're under God's protection, it don't make a hill of beans difference. So therefore, when I got back in line, I noticed that my jar was gone, which means somebody that was in that line took that mason jar and they stole it, because obviously they were starving. God said, you know what? I'm going to take the hunger from you, and don't you worry about it. And as I stood in line, I kept focusing on that building that looked like a warehouse. And therefore, that's where they were keeping all the children. And somehow or another, I just knew it, and I was trying to figure out how to get over there, because I knew my grandbabies was over there. And I was trying to figure out how to get over there in order to try to get them out of that building. Because they are separating the children from the parents, grandbabies from the grandmothers. They're going to rip them out of your arms. But I want y'all to know that therefore, just know if God takes them, he's taking them for a reason. Because he doesn't want people to be mean to them. He doesn't want harm. He loves his children. But I want y'all to know, don't be sad, because what therefore is coming upon the earth, you do not want your grandchildren and your children enduring it. Okay? Only the strong of the warriors that God has chosen is going to fight this battle, and we know who we are. We do. And therefore, you know what? Bring it on. Come after me, because I really don't care. Seriously. And it's complicated. But therefore, my friend, he came by the food line, and about that time he said, run. And I ran, and I ducked up underneath the side post. And about that time, I was running towards the building that I knew that my babies were in. Okay? And about that time, I looked up in the sky, and there was a bomb that was dropped on that building where the children were kept. And there was a part of me that said, you know what? I'd rather them go home to Jesus than people being actually mean to them for no apparent reason. But you know what really gets on my nerves, people? I want you to understand something. Okay, these things are going to happen. Oh yeah, EMPs. Oh, that's right. The power grid. We can talk about that later. These things are going to happen. And in order to create law and order, you have to have chaos. To see this chaos, you guys have no idea. It's going to get way out of hand. And therefore, when he tells you to move away from the cities, I suggest that y'all do it. I don't care if you just have a backpack on your back. You know what? He says, have faith in me, and therefore, I will make a way for you. I believe that. That I do. But, however, I want y'all to know, I'm going to talk about EMPs. I'm going to talk about Russia and China. I'm going to talk about things that are here, that is going to happen. It's in full swing. We're going to talk about the chip. We are going to talk about the mark of the beast. Guys, I want you to understand something. It's pretty plain and simple. And when I say plain and simple, it all boils down to DNA. Okay? Yep, that's right. DNA. And we just, that's a whole nother story in itself. So don't even get me started. But we are going to talk about DNA. And the manipulation of DNA. Because therefore, even God said in the Bible, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the end, the coming of the Son of Man. Which means what happened in the days of Noah? Oh yeah, there was a DNA corruption. Never mind, manipulating genes. Right, Hitler and the super soldiers. Okay. There are people walking amongst us that therefore, you better be careful. Because society has been dumbed down for so long that they don't even know what's going on around them. And see, we're going to talk about some of these things. We're going to talk about the EMP. But guys, I want you to understand something. And this is a proven fact. Okay? 30,000 guillotines in Macon, Georgia. How do I know that? I'm going to tell you how I know that. See, I'm in the trucking industry. I'm a dispatcher. And unfortunately, one of my drivers picked up one of those loads. Okay. And here's the thing with that. It was a blind shipment. And when he pulled up on the property to the warehouse, he was told to stay in his truck because therefore, obviously, they didn't want him to know what was on the back of that trailer. They told him, hey, driver, you unloaded. Okay, that's all great and dandy and fine. He sat there about 15-20 minutes, and therefore, they never brought out his paperwork. So, the driver got out of the truck. He walked back to the trailer, trying to find out where his paperwork was at, and therefore, my driver saw 53-foot van full of guillotines that were delivered to Macon, Georgia. Not just for me, but for you. If you're a Christian, guess what? Guarantee your head gonna be cut off, because therefore, that's what the guillotines are for, and therefore they are dispersing them in the FEMA camps all around the United States. And if FEMA camps are for people to get help, why in the tarnation do you need gas chambers? And why in the tarnation do you need guillotines? Oh yeah. You're gonna come looking for me. And guess what, Padre? I really don't care. For real. Because therefore, I'm going to tell my brothers and sisters, because see, I care about what happens to you. Okay, all these little funky Walmart buildings. Oh yeah. How convenient that they all close down at the same time. How convenient that they are. You know what? This is really getting on my nerves for real. And sometimes I get sidetracked. And Lord, please forgive me. I'm from Ocala, Florida. And 2 years ago, for real, at my daughter's school at Westport High School, you had the elite training. 600 and some, I don't know the exact number, but I do know that they were training in Westport. What's up with that? And where's the best place to house people? Come on now. Every major city, every major town has a Walmart Supercenter. You know what? Walmart, I don't even like to shop at Walmart, because see, y'all in on it too. If national disaster hits tomorrow and people are seriously left with nowhere to go, where is the best place to house them until they can get them to the FEMA camps? Yeah, Walmart Supercenter, that's great. Never mind that the most of the American public is supporting Walmart because you think it's the greatest thing on the block. Well, guess what? When your behind is all up in Walmart waiting to be transported to the FEMA camps where they are distributing the guillotines, then maybe you think twice about supporting something that is irrelevant. You know, I don't care if people think I'm crazy or not. I rightly don't care. But therefore, I have been shown these things. And if I don't share them with you, God said, fear not. Fear not, because if it is of fear, then it's not of me. Okay, I'm good with that. But therefore, whatever you want me to do, it is what it is. And when I tell you can take them funky little guillotines and cut my head off, I rightly don't care what you are or what you do. Because, see, Satan don't like me and I don't like him either. Because, see, therefore, if you have to bring hate, discontent, and disruption in other people's lives and you not helping them and you harming them, you irrelevant. Seriously. But I want y'all to know something. This is hard for me. Because I often wonder where my brothers and sisters are at. Are they scared? Do they really believe? You know, he says, you know, you get your head cut off, your head in a guillotine, you're going to sing praise. And the rest of them going to think that you're crazy. Well, obviously, they already think I'm crazy, so I don't really care. Okay? But I want y'all to understand something. I'm going to put another video on here. This is about food lines. Guys, these people running these food lines, they claim to be part of the U.S. Oh, no. They're not. They don't even got no business even being here. Oh, yeah, they going to rape your daughters. And they going to put bullets in the back of your husband's backs. Do you understand me? They are brutal. And when I say brutal, oh, yeah, they walking around with AKAs. Seriously right now? For real? It's because, therefore, they are invading the United States of America. And when the United States of America is at their weakest point, you have to have somewhere to go. You do. God said, for real, my people, you know, it's whatever. He says, my people will cry out and they will be deceived over lack of food, clothing, shelter over their head. Because, see, you guys have taken so much for granted that you don't even know what it's like to live without water. Are you serious? You don't know what it's like to have to go to your parents' house and ask for a loaf of bread because you're stupid. You're going to find out. You're going to find out. And you know what? You don't know what you're going to do when you're starving to death and when your babies are starving to death. I promise you. Hunger is a heck of a thing. Okay? And therefore, we are going to talk about EMPs. We're going to talk about airplanes falling out of the sky. Yep. That's right. Russia and China. What else do you want me to say? It really aggravates me. And the reason I say that it aggravates me, sometimes it's hard for me to function in society because I just look at people and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Okay, I'm Miss Carol from Ocala, Florida, and I love my brothers and sisters, and therefore, I do hope you tune in, pay attention, hear what I have to say, because, see, it ain't no skin off my teeth, because, therefore, that's right, I say it again. Take your little funky guillotine and cut my head off, because you know what? The answer is the same. I am a child of God. And therefore, I'm always going to remain a child of God. So if you think that you have to destroy me, bring it on. Bring it on, because God created me. He knows me. He loves me. He's going to protect me. And therefore, I will be one of his greatest warriors. And it made me no difference. Okay? But I want y'all to understand something. Okay? It's complicated. It's complicated, but it's not. And we will get into other things. Extraterrestrial. Okay, aliens. Okay, nope. No thumbs up to you. Thumbs down, because they're not aliens. Okay? It's complicated. But yet and still it's so realistic. And even when hierarchies say you have to learn to live in a human, non-human world, and you have to learn to make that transition. I get it. And those of you that want to learn and those of you that want to understand, I'll try to walk you through it and I'll try to help you. Because I've seen both sides of the world, and therefore, it don't matter. We ain't nothing but filth in the flesh. And therefore, this flesh right here, oh no. The soul remains the same. Oh yeah. There's so much that I want to say and so much that I want to get out there. Whether it be right, whether it be wrong. This is who I am. And if I feel like that this is what God wants me to do, then therefore I'm going to do it. But I want y'all to know. You breathe air and you can't see it. Well, you know what? Trust in God even though you cannot see Him. The Son of God, Jesus Christ, that, I'm just really amazed that I can go off in left field right now, and sometimes I just talk too much for no reason. I look at that and I think, wow, yeah, there were people out in the crowd that was crying and carrying on when Jesus was nailed to the cross and He was beat to death and spit upon. And you know what? Nobody said anything. Nobody said nothing. Nobody tried to help Him and nobody tried to save Him. And I think to myself, this world is so screwed up that they will believe a lie before they believe the truth. And you know what? I don't tell the truth to hurt your feelings by no means, but I'd rather tell you the truth than tell you a lie. But we in deep, deep trouble. Deep trouble. We'll talk about Damascus. Oh yeah, the final prophecy in the Bible. Damascus, a heap of, whatever you want to call it, rubble. A heap of rubble. Which means, therefore, it ain't no longer going to be in existence. And then the times of trouble are going to come. And when I say times of trouble, oh good Lord, we'll get into that in another segment. Okay, the zombie apocalypse. Oh yeah, we can talk about that. Ain't no big deal. Cannibalism. Yeah, y'all better stop eating out in public restaurants, because therefore it's all about changing and destroying God's creation, the DNA. And therefore, I'm God's child. This right here, bring it on. I will fight this war, with or without you. I want to hear your comments, and I want to know what you think. But hey, guess what, guys? You ain't out there on your own. You're not, because it's complicated. But know who your Creator is, and know your alliance, and know where your loyalty stands. Because therefore, my loyalty stands with my Creator. So it doesn't make a difference a heap of beans about what I do in the flesh. Because I was born in sin and iniquity. Hello? Does not anybody get that? I, therefore, am not perfect, and ask for repentance and forgiveness every night, all the time, in the middle of the day, even when I'm washing dishes, because therefore I'm an idiot. Made me no difference. But the flesh is different than the soul. And when the DNA is corrupted, as it was in the days of Noah, you have been done in and therefore you can never take it back. And we will talk about that. So please tune in. And hey, I'll be praying for y'all and hope to hear your comments. Subscribe. Let me know what's up. And therefore, I'm out from Ocala, Florida. Much love, brothers and sisters. Say your prayers and look for guidance. Ask God to open your eyes so therefore you can see too. Good night and sweet dreams.